Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Zaku Talku. My name is Mark, and I'm joined once again by my co-host Jose and Garcelle. And today we will be starting our series on the Mobile Suit Gundam Double Zeta, which is a direct continuation of Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam.
And pretty direct.
Yeah. So this series was released in 1986. And it is directed by Yoshiyuki Tamino, who also directed the original Gundam series and Zeta Gundam. So, still got his handiwork all over it.
Boy.
And I'll let Garcelle take it from there.
All right, so episode 1, as we've all seen, is a bit of a recap episode. It also gives us some information as to things like how the colonies work, how the UC started. So I assume both of you guys watched it, even though I mentioned to skip it. But did you guys find any of that information interesting?
Yeah, I am glad I watched it because it did give a little insight into some things that we didn't really necessarily get before. And I don't know if that's because we watched the Gundam compilation films and it was in the material, or if that's just because it hasn't been talked about before, but it's just nice to know these little details like how a colony works and what a colony is. And I think it even mentioned the colony drop, which was interesting. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't anything spectacular. It was just kind of informative. And then there were some cool scenes with where it showed the mobile suits, which I also like.
Yeah, they also gave us a bit of an info dump on most of the mobile suits as well.
Yeah, but overall, I mean, I'm glad I watched it. I mean, but you probably could skip it if you wanted to.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty interesting. I was glad that I didn't end up skipping it because, well, it was probably the most interesting episode of the ones that we saw. But okay, I'm moving ahead. But I am glad that I saw it though. I really enjoyed it. I like getting on that info dump on the Gundams and I thought it was really interesting, like just the little tidbits of information. I know that Zeta Gundam is MSZ006. That's pretty cool. And then there were little tidbits of the future and what was to come. Well, just of the next episode, I guess, which was kind of dumb, and I didn't really appreciate that because it just made me feel like I didn't want to watch the next episode, which is eventually how I felt while I was actually watching the next episode. But yeah, it was interesting. And what else can I say about it?
Okay, I'm pretty sure Jose wants to get into the main issue we have. So, Mark, earlier you brought up that it's actually the same director as Zeta, right?
Actually, I wanted to make sure before we started this because it felt different.
Right. So, this being a continuation of Zeta, you would expect like certain themes, tones, if you will, would continue on. That didn't happen, did it?
No, that's the most apparent thing right off the bat. You realize that this is not the same atmosphere, tone. It's just not going in the same direction as the other two that we watched, which were edge of your seat, gritty, battles, space battles, all this kind of stuff that was crazy happening. There's a story, it made sense, and it was engaging. The interaction between the characters were engaging. There was characters being developed and brought up from like Camille. I hated him at first, and then I started to like him because he slowly started to develop, and the world around him was reflecting that. Like he was in combat, he was getting PTSD, he was getting all these things were happening to him that were like more mature themes. And in this, at least in the first 16 episodes, mind you, we're doing 16 because we want to blaze through this as fast as possible.
Oh shit! I thought you said still 50. I thought you said you rolled 15, it back to 15.
15.
Okay, I was like, oh.
So it's campy, jokey, really lighthearted. There seems to be no sense of urgency, and I just honestly up until probably I think there's a portion of the story where we get to like a weird like remnant colony, and that's when things start to I think kind of pick up a little bit once Judo, our main character's sister, gets taken, and there's actually some sort of plot advancement and urgency in the story is when it kind of starts to pick up a little bit. Not too much, but it's definitely not the same feeling, and I don't think any of us here can say right now that we like it or enjoy it.
We were expecting something just something to follow up, something to up the ante, something that would be worthy of the original Mobile Suit Gundam and Zeta Gundam, something worthy of their clout, of their greatness. We came into the series expecting something fun, something bigger, something more impactful, something sexy. We got none of that.
So yes, one of the biggest issues is that it's a slapstick. Basically, you have those little quick animations where you can tell that it's done for laugh. You have our heroes being all whimsical and jumpy. You got the villains being all whimsical and jumpy.
You got the mutant whimsical and jumpy. Like if the first 3 series, these episodes that we saw, were personified in some kind of people, and you stepped into an elevator, back. You guys take it.
To put it into simpler, if everybody recalls Yazan, he was almost the most dangerous villain in Zeta. At almost any moment he would fight Camille. Camille would be like fighting within an inch of his life. Yeah. So in the end, Yazan survives, and he's like the first they have to take on in Double Zeta. Unlike our previous heroes, where they like almost have intent pilot, he doesn't know how to do it.
Yeah, Amuro had an instruction manual. Camille, he at least like has some history
too.
with mobile suits and crap. So I mean, he has some exposure to it. Other than that, like still, like they both have a history with it.
Well, and so reason to not know, but he's still able to take down one of the most dangerous villains from Zeta, just bumbling around out of pure luck. And then afterwards, Yazan's reduced to just a joke. We see him later falling into a pothole.
Yeah, he's like scavenging like an animal, like rummaging around. He's always got like a chunk of meat in his mouth. He's got like a poncho on. Character.
Even the mobile suits get in on the slapstick. At one point, there's this one giant mobile suit that has a giant metal pipe or something, and it's just whacking the Argama.
Oh yeah,
dude, those suits are ridiculous. It's just that first wow, they're on Shangri-La Colony, which is the colony where Judo comes from. Way too long. Like it was like 6 episodes of them just on there doing nothing. It's so boring. I wanted to skip through it, and I just don't know. I don't know what to like. I really hope it picks up. That's all I can say at this point about that.
I mean, yeah, I would hope it also gets a lot more serious, since I mentioned privately to you two, Haman Khan is the villain in this series.
Yeah, we haven't really encountered her so far. We've encountered some dolt who I hate.
We'll get into Match Mind in a little bit, but let's go ahead and let's get into our hero, into our protagonist, into our guy. I really wished I liked,
because you like his jacket.
I like his jacket. His jacket's so cool. So when we meet Judo, he's kind of he seems all right. He's working so his sister can go to school.
Yeah, Judo is a hardworking boy living paycheck to paycheck as a mobile suit scrapper.
He's Mexican.
Mm-hmm. You think of him, you think that he's gonna be some kind of honest character, and he's just working his way. He's just living life, and he's just living paycheck to paycheck. He's living the struggle, just like that we are in real life. And it turns out he's a fucking thief.
A thief. Yeah, his main thing, he wants to steal the Zeta so he can scrap it and make a bunch of money. And that's Yazan is able to what's the word? Trick him, I guess.
Yeah.
Into helping him get into the Argama and try to steal the Zeta.
Dude, this guy got played like Kotz did. Only though he got played worse, because that ain't even a chick. It's some it's some rusty, nasty, crusty old man has been.
Yeah, Judo. All I can really say is his jacket's cool and the double Zeta's cool.
And he's not a real man, and he's convinced himself he's a new type.
I mean, he is.
He didn't know that.
So, I have the opinion that I don't really mind Judo at this point.
Oh, come on. How do you hate Camille?
I don't really mind Judo.
No, okay. So Camille's character, he was meant to be disliked, and because he was just so brash, and like he picked fights with everybody, beat everyone up, and talked back to everybody. So you were supposed to hate him. Judo's character, he doesn't really do anything that's like too terrible. I mean, yeah, he wants to steal the Zeta, but he doesn't do it. He has like some moral values. He acts all tough in front of his friends, but he's not like really that kind of a person, or he would have just left and would have just stolen the Zeta. He had multiple opportunities to take it. He's either that or he's dumb, because Fa's like, oh, you should bring it back. Where are you going to store it? And he's like, oh, you're right. Yeah, maybe I should. So he's either stupid or he's just a kind-hearted person. So I don't really
I'm gonna say that he's
You
stupid.
try to punch out Fa.
Fa was annoying.
No, she wasn't. She didn't even do anything.
Okay, she's annoying, but she has a reason to be annoying. I understand that. Because
she fucking slapped him because he slapped the hand of food out of his own sister's hand.
But initially I was thinking, like, why is Fa like this? She's being so aggressive and annoying. And then I was like, oh wait, she's definitely stressed out because of the situation Camille's in right now. So that's understandable. So I didn't really have any, but you know, if you're being like lashed out at like over and over and over again, you're gonna get aggressive.
Hey, Camille took it like a man, dude.
Yeah, Judo is no man. He's not a real man. He slapped a dish of dish of food out of his own sister's hand. He's not a man. So he's gonna let it go to waste? What a taint!
Can we bring up Camille real fast? We've barely seen anything about him.
We're supposed to. He's comatose, catatonic.
What did they do to my boy?
You just want a scene of Camille, like a whole episode of just staring at Camille's vegetative body.
That would be so much better than the rest of the series. I swear to God, that would be so much better.
I was kind of shook when Judo just like, he saw him laying in the back of that car, and he's just like with his eyes open staring at the ceiling, and then he uncovers him like he's a corpse, and then Camille just like slowly rolls his eyes towards him and looks at him. It's actually kind of creepy.
Then he lifts up his hand, and then they have like some weird new type connection.
That proves my point, though. That scene that you just brought up, that Judo is not a horrible person, because if he was, he would have ratted out Camille, held him hostage because he's an easy hostage, and he's an important hostage.
See, that's what I thought too, and he did that before, and then he was a scumbag to his sister, and he was about to deck Fa for no reason, so... He took one step forward at that moment and then took 5 steps back.
No, I don't think so.
You can have the moral high ground and still be an asshole.
Yeah.
But I mean, he just didn't want to be in, like, they were playing it up like they're gonna like hold it over his head, like, you're indebted to me if you eat this food, and he's like, that's not worth that. Don't eat it. So to me, Judo's not that bad.
They were offering him a job, and then he's like, no, and then he's like trying to get his posse to rally behind him so he could feel validated, and they're like, no, I think that sounds reasonable. Like, we get paid, we do work.
Maybe it's because his posse is way, way more annoying than him that I don't have a problem with him. Mondo and Bicha are two of the worst characters I've ever had.
By the way. Apt name for a Bicha, because he's a bitch. Fuck
he's a Bicha.
Ino's best character.
Ino's the best character so far. Elle is her name? Is that the?
It was like Ellie or something.
Elle. Well, she's cool too. I don't mind her. She's cool.
Yeah.
She's Elle, the blonde with the go-go spandex or whatever. Like the 80s,
I didn't even know her name.
Clothes.
I like her. Yeah, she's
cool.
pretty cool.
She hasn't done nothing.
And then the silver fox. What's her name? Rue Luca.
Yeah, she makes the whole thing worth it.
Yeah.
Not really.
I actually like her character. I really like. We'll touch. Are we gonna touch on her later, or can I just say what I like about her?
We'll just do it.
All right. Well, I like that she plays up the cuteness and the innocentness, the innocent girl vibes, just to like abuse it, and then she uses it to her advantage. Basically, she plays people.
She knows how to use it.
Yeah.
The purple hair chick.
Is it purple? It looks like white to me, or silver.
It's like a really, really light. Yeah.
But she's cool. With the introduction of Rue, we also get to see the core fighters again.
Yeah, I was like, what? Core fighters? And then there's a reason for them.
We'll get into that in a little bit. So Bicha and Mondo. You said Mondo was his name?
Yeah.
So they were on board for joining the Argama to get paid and stuff like that. But as soon as they got on the ship, they're turncoats. They let the Axis know where they're going on several occasions. They pretty much abandoned the crew on like twice. I don't like them. I barely even know because I stopped paying attention to them.
Wait, Bicha?
Yeah. Remember when they like stow away and like are
and they tied up the cool one, right? The nice one that's like trying to be loyal to the cause.
He's trying. Ino tries to be loyal to both of them, so he doesn't rat them out, but he also tries to stop them. But like then he gets tied up. Then he gets taken hostage.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I really don't have too much to say about those two, other than I hate them. But
okay, I didn't even pay attention to the last part. I might have missed it. But they like joined the Axis, right? They like defected or somehow. I didn't even know. When did that happen?
Did they get on the ship or the Axis?
I don't know. I guess we'll get into that later when we talk about.
Anyways, Rue, Ellie, they're cool. Ino's cool. Judo, it's neutral, I guess. Neutral.
I like his sister. Like she's a nice little character.
That reminds me of there's the scene when she gets taken by the Axis. She's in that dress with
God.
Glennie.
Oh my god,
I hate him.
Let's get into Glennie. We ain't gonna talk about him.
No, we need to talk about the real issue with 6 to 9 episodes of this. Mashameyer.
Dude,
No, Mashameyer.
No, dude,
horrible.
I can vibe with this guy.
You like Mashameyer?
All right, Mark, take it away.
Mark, yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, I literally was about to skip. I was trying to figure out. I was going to type in what episode Mashameyer leaves in, and when he dies, and then skip to that episode. If he does die, I don't know if he does. Hopefully he does. I hate him. Jesus. He's the worst villain. He's literally just a comic joke the whole time. Like this.
This entire series is a comic joke.
Yes, but Mashameyer is the reason.
It's definitely not the reason.
Yes, he is. He's unthreatening. He can't even take out Judo, who's in like who doesn't even know how to pilot the Zeta. He keeps thinking that it's some like advanced pilot doing some crazy stuff. He's like falling and bumbling over himself. He's like, "What is this technique? I've never seen it before. I gotta fly away now." And he's ridiculous. He's over the top to the point where it's annoying and frustrating to watch. I do not like him. He's dumb. And he's like lusting over Haman to the point where the only good character is like Goten, because he's sitting there like, which is his underling, who's sitting there like giving him the evil eye the whole time because he's so dumb. And then finally they get him off the ship that they're on. They're like, okay, get out of here. We don't like you anymore. You're annoying, and the audience does not want to see you anymore. And he's gone. And that's when it started to get better. That's when the show picked up for me, is when they got rid of Mashameyer. I hated him. I hated him so much. He's the worst villain ever. He's worse than any other villain we've ever seen. Name one villain that acts like that in any of the other 2 series. You can't, because there isn't, because he sucks.
The fact is, he isn't wrong about it picking up once he leaves.
It's true. He drags the whole series out. What happens? What does he do? He's like, "Oh, the Zeta, gotta go fly out." Flies out. Gets nothing happens to him. Just like arm gets ripped off. He's like Jared. But without the threatening aura that Jared had at the beginning. He's like Jared at the end when he's just flying in and getting killed and then flying away.
He's like Jared in those senses, but he's a lot more likable.
No,
he is a lot more likable. The thing is, he's passionate.
Exactly.
He's so passionate. He fantasizes. Come on.
All right. Look, I gotta give props to my boy. He's shooting pretty high. He's trying to get at Haman. He's simping over Haman, and I respect that. From one simp to another.
Is he delusional? Are those delusions, or are those actual like memories he has? I can't tell. He's that.
No, well, I mean, what's her name? The other chick that talked to the what's her name? The one with the split hair color.
Kara Soon.
Yeah, Kara Soon, Kara Dune. She like referenced him. Referenced something about him talking to Haman, and that she gave him the flower. So my boy ain't daydreaming. He has a chance.
He's dumb. He has no chance for anything.
I mean, the thing is, he is passionate. He's honorable. He did not want to take any of the hostages.
Exactly.
Any of the soldiers in the hospital as hostages.
He's trying to be kind to people. He's trying to be decent.
He's trying to just follow. If Haman told him to kill all those people, he would have done it. That's the thing. He's just stupid.
You're not wrong. I'm pretty sure he would.
Yeah, but the fact is, he didn't do it, so he's okay.
And listen, one of his little fantasies, let me see Haman in a really pretty light blue dress. That's all good.
Yo, I was respecting that. You know what? I thought Haman was cool. And now I think Haman is pretty. Except I'm not a fan of her hairstyle. But the boy let me see Haman in a new light. In a different light that I appreciate. And from one simp to another. I appreciate his level of tenacity. And he's not, he's decent. I like him. And he's funny.
He's not.
In a show full of other shit that tries to be funny but is not funny, he is actually funny to me.
Okay. I'm gonna collect your tears when he dies, which I hope happens.
Oh, I don't doubt he's gonna die, and I am gonna cry.
He will, but he'll go out protecting Haman, so it'll be what he wanted, and I'll respect that.
Right. Mark, you mentioned Chara soon.
Yeah.
Let's just jump into her. So she's basically our second villain for this little part.
She's like Jose's dream woman.
So is she a cyber new type? Because she is definitely acting like one.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's the first thing that I thought when she was like acting all kooky and not remembering certain things. I was like, what the hell?
I think so.
Acting kind of childish and stuff like that.
It doesn't make sense for me, or from just story wise. It wouldn't make sense for the Axis to have cyber new types because they're trying to have people that are develop that naturally. I think, right? The Federation's the one that made the cyber new types.
Yes, that is true.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past Haman to like sneak something like that.
Well, if they're going off any sort of Char principle, didn't he say like he wants that to occur naturally in Zeta? So I don't know, just maybe, unless Haman's like just some evil animal, which she might be.
It is possible.
I don't know. She's just crazy. She like gets like aroused in the suit in the mobile
Oh yeah,
suit.
she does. She grips those handlebars nice and tight.
You noticed that?
And
she was like stroking.
Yeah, I did notice that. And she was just like spazzing out and opening her shirt, and I was like, "Yo, this chick is crazy. This is sick. I'm down." But I don't really like her hair. I'll say that.
Horrible.
But
she looks like oh my god, like one of those like rock star characters from the 80s.
Like from
yeah,
she
or
looks
like that Scooby-Doo episode.
Yeah, she looks like Gene Simmons animated. She looks like Kiba Inuzuka from Naruto's mom.
With two-toned hair.
Like, yeah, with two-toned hair. Like she wildin'. But I at the same time I kind of like her character. Like other than just being a perv, I thought she was like flip-flopping and she's fun. She's like fun to watch when she's like being all when she like catches, for example, that Marsh, whatever his name is, my simp boy, when she catches him on tape and she's like gonna blackmail him. She's like, "Oh, Haman's gonna find out about this bitch." And then he's like, "Oh, no." You know, I thought that was crafty of her. That actually is probably something I would do in real life because, yeah. But,
what about when she smushes a Gotten's face into her chest?
Oh, man. That's, you know, I would have taken a slap for that. I'd have been like, I'm okay with this. What's next?
I would ask for hugs so he can feel up some breasts. Cut that.
This has never occurred.
So, on a more serious question. Her last name, Soon. Do you guys think there's any connection to Lala? Or do you think it's just like the same name?
It's just spelled differently.
Is it?
Yeah, it is spelled differently. That's
S-U-N-E and hers is S-O-N.
That's why I didn't even like connect the two until you guys just brought that up right now because it was spelled differently.
Alright, that's all for that one.
Plus she's like a really like she's a much more fair toned woman compared to Lala.
Minority. Space minority.
Yeah.
Anyways, can we talk about my boy Bright Noah real quick?
This one's you. On you.
Listen. This guy went through the 1 year war with a bunch of amateurs, with a bunch of civilian soldiers. Yeah. What the fuck is going on in his head to make him want a bunch of children to join the Argama? I know they're hurting for people, but why a bunch of kids that have been trying to steal the Zeta?
Okay.
Dude, that's his freaking answer every time. He's like, oh, he might be a new type. So he just fucking correlates everybody to being like Amuro, and then he just lets them do whatever the hell they want.
Is Bright a new type?
It's so dumb.
No.
He seems to be drawing a bunch of new types to him. Anyway, so we all know he's married. He has kids. Yeah. Who's this bitch? Emily getting all up and close with him?
She's like crushing on him hard. I just hope he remains loyal.
Why is my man?
That's probably
blushing? Why is he?
You know what? Later on, what's it called? This guy, he's about to let this homewrecker come in and frickin' destroy his household from the inside. It's horrible, dude. Like he's thinking about his kids, he's reminiscing, he's missing them, and then he doesn't even bother thinking of Mirai. Like it sucks. It's really sad.
I actually got mad when they bumped into each other and when they were going to the deck and they were blushing. I was like, no. You can't take this from me. You can take everything else, but not Bright's honor, please.
Yeah, Bright, I swear, he's about to reenact Knock Knock by that Keanu Reeves movie. He's like, no, it's okay, and then I don't want you here, and I'm a married man. No, I don't think he cares. I'm sad.
But, Jose, you did say that Bright had the best fight in the whole series so far.
That also goes to put that Bright has been disrespected as hell in this show. Like, goddamn.
Now we know where Family Guy copied it from.
He gets a chicken on his head, and he just calls it a bitch.
He calls that chicken bitch. What does he say exactly? He's like, bitch, wait, or something like that.
He's like, you bitch, and wait, because
Yeah.
he's flying away.
Because that chicken just hit and run.
Why are they transporting animals? Is it just a favor? Really?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
I didn't even know why that was happening either. Were they going to eat them all? Or what? They're out of funding, so they're going to do a delivery mission?
I assumed it was like a favor to the dude that was letting them leave.
Maybe.
Alright, so why is the Double Zeta so cool?
Because
it's a Megazord.
It's a Megazord, dude. It's a combined.
Exactly. I didn't catch that you said it was a Megazord for a reason. I just thought that you said that because it was bulky like a Megazord. But then I saw that it takes like multiple crafts to like come together, and it's multiple people in the thing, like in the mech. And it's one collective mech.
Can I just say it's cool? I love the design. I love the leg panels. I love them. They're amazing. I think this is one of the coolest looking Gundams we've seen. It's so dumb of a design, though. Like, there is a person in the gun. And if we've seen anything about Gundam, we know that half the time the guns get sliced, huh?
Dude, he freaking Judao through it, and he let his gun get sliced earlier in the show.
People usually they run out of ammo, they just freaking chuck the gun. They're gonna chuck the gun with people in it.
He's gonna be like, hey, you forgot about me, fuck.
Also, if one of those core boosters gets shot down, that Gundam is completely useless. And there's three. There's three of them. Why is there three? Why can't there just be like two?
Alright, but what came before? Voltron or this?
Voltron.
I'm just wondering. So when I saw the Double Zeta, I thought it was like, when I saw it in like art and stuff before this, I thought it was like armor added onto the Zeta. And
yeah, I thought it was just not.
It's not. They still have the Zeta.
To be honest, I'm kind of glad because they're not going to strip Camille of that now.
But they just put a Zaku head on it to disrespect him even more.
Ino was doing his best, okay? They didn't have any spares. Even though later we see the Mark II.
Yeah.
Which, okay, is that one of the Mark IIs that they stole back in Zeta?
I don't know. Didn't Emma's blow up?
Yeah, Emma's blew up, but that's only one of the 3 Mark IIs that they stole.
They only ever used 2. One. Only ever used 1, didn't they?
Yeah.
Anyways, have you noticed how comically large the Double Zeta's beam saber hilts are?
Yeah, they almost look like it would be like a dual laser.
They're huge, and then and the beam saber that comes out is like huge too. It's like really long.
God, it's just so cool.
And he has like a head cannon,
it's like a
fires out of the
more.
That was the thickest thing.
The head cannon?
It has a fucking head cannon, dude. That's so cool.
Has a unibeam out of the forehead.
Also, it just completely drains its energy from the looks of it.
Yeah.
So, I think it's cool. I think the Double Zeta is sick. If they kept it out of its, like, I don't know why they have to fly it with the core. It can be assembled before they go out into combat. So, I don't know why they fly around in those machines.
Oh, it wouldn't be to make it more compact, because just having one unit instead of 3 separate core boosters would probably save more space.
It's because they wanted to emphasize that it's different.
I do like that they're using the core boosters, though. I always like the core booster.
Do you like the little pose that happens after it transforms?
Dude, it's so sick. Why does it have to be this serious? Why does it have to be a comedy where the coolest Gundam is?
That's a little spice.
Going back to the whole people in the gun thing, I just assumed that was Ellie and Beach and Mondo fucking up constantly.
No, in the model kit of the Double Zeta, I think there is people in the gun.
It's so bad then.
It's a horrible design.
Because it didn't seem, when they first transformed, it didn't seem like anybody was in the gun, because both Ino and Rue were already out of there.
Yeah, how did they fly away?
That's why I assumed. I thought they were just fucking up, but I don't know now.
I don't know either. Maybe they are. Maybe they were. But why is there a glass at the looking out glass the top of a spacecraft in the gun?
Because they were fucking.
Because they want to see right before they get sliced.
God, again, the gun is always the first thing to go.
It is.
Yo, I wonder if they can fly around as a gun and just shoot people.
It doesn't have any wings or thrusters. It just has cannons.
That's so dumb. That's so dumb. But the double Zeta is so cool. The Zeta is also cool, but this double Zeta, so cool.
Okay.
And spoilers is gonna get an upgrade, isn't it? Full armor.
The Faz.
The Faz. It's gonna get beefier.
One thing, I am very surprised we got to the double Zeta so quickly.
Yeah, it was like episode 13 or something.
Yeah. Maybe they just wanted to bring it out quick because they already knew how boring the show was being.
It's pretty agonizing up to this point, but hopefully
liking everybody now.
Yeah, they said once the intro switches, because right now it's the most amazing song I've ever heard in my life, and I've been listening to it on Spotify nonstop for 3 days straight. Once it switches, yes, once it switches away from animation,
I don't know what the rest is. I liked it for a bit, but then the series as a whole started grating on me, so I was like, I don't want to listen to this anymore because it's just gonna remind me of the show.
Well, once that song is gone and it switches to the new song, that's when they said it starts picking up. So, or not picking up, but tone shift. So hopefully that means picking up.
And hopefully that's when Homon starts being more prominent.
Hopefully that's when Mashmar dies.
You said it's gonna be better. Maybe Mashmar is gonna be better too. You don't know, Mark. Maybe you'll like him by then. Maybe you'll be the one that's crying when he dies. If he
will not. No. So, all right. I think that's it on the double Zeta itself. Hasn't really done too much.
Yeah. Kind of like when in part 2 of Zeta, we kind of ended it right as the Zeta came in.
Yeah.
Right. So this. How do I word this? So we ended these last few. No, fuck. How do I word this? Mark, how do I word this?
So the arc we left off on was the colony of Moon, and
have you guys ever seen that one little meme where it's like, your birth month and your first letter of your name is each mean a word, and then it will be like your whatever name. There's one with wolves, and there's a joke where one dude is like, my name is fucking Moon. I could not stop thinking about that.
I was just like, oh god, here we go again. When they said Moon. Well, anyways, there's a colony of Moon. It's been forgotten by the Federation. It's unregulated. No one really cares what's going on with it. It's way on the outskirts. And it's got a group of people living on it. And these people seem to have regressed into I don't know how to
tribal
describe it.
Status.
Yeah, like kind of like a tribal situation. They got small villages, farmers, no technology. Even though the colony, they worship God. Mobile suits. Yeah, they worship mobile suits because there's an old decrepit mobile suit that got covered in moss sitting in the middle of what was his name? Cattle?
Yeah, they were calling it cattle.
Yeah, so there's technology there. They just don't know how to use it, or forgot how to use it, or are banned from using it. One of those three. So, I guess, how did you guys feel about this last little bit in this colony of Moon and the little arc that happens?
I thought everything about it, in terms of the plot, in terms of the area, and, mostly just the plot. I didn't even know what was really going on. I just kind of watched the characters talk to each other and do things, and it just felt all over the place. But at the same time, it was one of the better spots in terms of just seeing funny interactions. Like I said earlier, in a series that's kind of trying to be funny and that's not really hitting it most of the time. It's probably one of the funnier portions of it, just because the crazy chick that I like is there and she's acting up. What's her name again?
Arasu.
Yeah.
My brother's gonna be looking up that name later.
It always takes a second to click. I never remember anybody's name right off the bat. I've gotten worse with it over time, but it clicks by the end of the series. So.
Well, I kind of liked it because it showed a bit more of I say world building, because maybe there's more abandoned colonies out there that have different cults or maybe their own ways of life. So I'm
Yeah.
kind of wondering if like maybe Double Zeta will do more of that.
Yeah, like hopping to different colonies would be pretty cool just to see. Because when we did see that in the other series, like Texas Colony and those, it was interesting to see like the environment and what happened to the colonies, and how people are doing on these various colonies that are seemingly all different.
Yeah, abandoned colonies, maybe some war-torn colonies like Colony 30 was.
Yeah. For me though, this was probably one of the more enjoyable arcs, just because, like I said before, at this point, Judo's sister has been taken captive by the Axis powers, and so it kind of puts a sense of urgency in like Judo's character, where he's trying to get to the ship that they're on, and the Endra, I think it's called, and rescue his sister, and that's his main priority. So it's just cool to see that there's some problem, an issue, and that has to be solved, because up to this point it was just messing around with Mashmeyer, which is not fun for me to watch.
Yeah,
For you.
you definitely have a point on that. Like, it's got stuff going on in terms of that. The only thing that I can say about this is that it didn't hit for me. Like, it didn't make me feel like I felt like any kind of urgency for the most part. I did care about the sister, but I don't care enough about Judah at this point. I don't find him likable enough for me to really like sympathize with him so much. So it just flew over my head, and I just looked at the character interactions and had fun with that.
And honestly, seeing Judo's friends basically trying to sell out the Argama and stuff like that, it really makes you just not want to watch or care anymore.
Yeah, I really hope those guys stay with Axis so we can see them die.
At this point, that's the only that's the only way that we're gonna get any satisfaction as the viewers.
They're that unlikable. They're like so reprehensible that I feel comfortable saying that I want to see them get shot down at this point, because I don't know, they're just annoying. And I don't like them when they appear on the screen.
You want to see them end up like cots.
God, more children dying, great. I would say that I may turn around on them if they're the ones that save Lena.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
I kind of doubt that.
Yeah, because I think Beach is really adamant on staying with the Axis, more so than Mondo. Even though he says it's just because there's a hot chick on Judo's side on Moon. That's the only reason he kind of helps him in a little bit portion. But
dude, the first thing that dude needs to do is fix his haircut, because it ain't working.
But yeah, I mean that arc was really short. It was like 3 episodes long, but so far that's the most enjoyment I've had with the series. And
I feel it's also the only real arc they've had that at least has spanned more than an episode.
What do you mean? What about the Mashmeyer arc on Shangri-La?
That whole thing could almost be episodic. Everything that happened in Shangri-La could just be episodic. The only continuation is
it didn't even feel like connected. It just felt like they were just spent. Like, I felt like one day was October 23rd, and then the next day was freaking January 27th, and you just like, it felt disjointed, and it just didn't feel, even though it was supposed to be coherent, it didn't really feel coherent.
You could tell somebody that Judo wants to steal the Zeta and that Mashmeyer is the villain, and then just tell them to watch any episode of those first few episodes, and it'd be fine.
Yeah, I'm really just like, so we watched the Gundam compilation films, and there is a compilation film set that I watched of Zeta. There should have been a compilation film for this, and they should have cut out almost all of that first little bit and made it in like 2 films instead of 3, because seeing how much they cut out in the, like, because I watched the Zeta one the other night, and seeing how much they trimmed off of Zeta, and Zeta didn't really even need that stuff trimmed off of it. They could have trimmed so much out of Double Zeta and made it probably much more watchable, honestly, if they would have went with like a compilation film set.
Oh yeah, I'd agree with you there.
But,
they love replaying a certain song throughout the whole course of these episodes that we were watching. It's that silly, goofy... Do you know which one I'm talking about, Mark? It's that silly, goofy one that they play every time that something happens and that they're running around. I could not find that anywhere, which is surprising with how often they freaking play it. But yeah, they love to spam that song, and it just, like, with how, like, I kind of like the little tune, but it makes it feel very comedic, and it makes whatever moments of tension that are supposed to be there, it completely dissipates it, and it just like erases it all, and I feel no tension ever, and I just feel like I'm watching Team Rocket go to work in an episode of Pokemon.
Can I say that Mashmeyer makes me think of James?
I was just about
Yes.
to say, Jose's description of the series as Pokemon right then just made me realize that, yeah, that's kind of tone that we've been getting is like a Pokemon tone. Like, and I really hope it picks up. I mean, that's really all. Like, if I had to say a concluding statement on this episode or on this set of episodes we watched, it's that I really just hope it picks up because I want to like it. I want to like Judo. I want to like the Double Zeta, or I like the Double Zeta, and I just want to like this series because the other two have been incredible.
Yeah, those were like two. What is it? 2 home runs, and then this one's just the batter couldn't even hit the ball.
It's like a stale cracker.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hopefully this does pick up because, dude, if I was just watching this by myself, not for the podcast, I would have dropped this by episode 3.
Yeah, I probably would have as well. I thought
Same.
Turn A was going to be the one that was going to be the dud, or I really honestly didn't think Wing would, but I definitely thought Turn A was gonna be insufferable. But this is almost, I mean, this is getting pretty close to it. And I mentioned before, I watched the compilation films for Zeta, and I just want to mention this: they retconned Double Zeta out of existence in that. At the end of the Double Zeta or the Zeta compilation films, Camille does not go catatonic. There's like a happy ending, and Double Zeta never happens in that in that canon. So
no reason to go to Shangri-La. No reason to be Judo.
No. So I don't know if that retcon
Camille
timeline
also
is the
gets
new
that
timeline.
cool red jacket. In my head canon, Camille also gets the cool red jacket.
Well,
he does. He would have gotten the Double Zeta too. I mean, as we were saying earlier, that's the last maybe 3-4 episodes were a lot better than Shangri-La.
Yeah.
There was I feel like well, I just wanted to share that Mark said that Fa was annoying in this, but I just saw her more as like I saw her more in a positive light. Like she was kind of getting like pissy in here and there, but I don't know. I really appreciated how she was like always thinking about Camille, and she was just really ride or die for him, and it was really cool. It was really sweet, and it was probably the only moment that I had some semblance of the feels within these episodes. I would have said Bright thinking about his kids would have also like touched my heart a little bit, but then he didn't think about Mirai and that whole thing that's happening with the home
That
wrecker.
was actually really fucked up.
Yeah, I wasn't vibing with it, and there was no saving him from my wrath because of that. So
I didn't point it out, but there was a small little scene after they bump into each other and get onto the bridge. There's kind of like an evil look on Emily. I don't know if she's going to be like a double agent later on, but maybe that's why she's being all friendly.
Maybe. But that's all the time we have for today. Check out our social media at Zaku Talku on Twitter and Instagram, and follow us on Spotify or wherever you watch your podcasts, because we're probably there.